Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome to this lesson. Cheers for checking it out. Now somebody said to me on Facebook, like, I really admire that you write your own stuff, and then I happened to write a response with about 5 lines of text saying like, oh, it's no big deal, like, if you just do this and this, you'll be able to write something that sounds really good. And then I realized, wait a minute, I actually just explained what I do to write most of my songs within a few lines of text and a Facebook message. And I was like, well, if I can explain to somebody how to do something of that magnitude with just that little information, people need to hear about this. So what I've got is, I'm doing like a 2-part video. So this is method 1. And it sounds completely different to method 2, and they're both just as good, like 2 professional ways of writing like incredible, beautiful classical guitar stuff, where you just need to watch like this one video to learn method 1, and you've got this like for life. You can write, I'd say, about 5 to 10 songs with just this method of like great stuff. So here's how to do it. So in the key of E minor, now E minor is just a group of notes that you use to write a song with. You're going to want to draw yourself one of these. Now all it is just a fretboard, so obviously you got like the strings as if it's like a tab, and then you got like the frets, and then the dots are where you can play stuff. So on, say, like the low E, you can play like the 2nd, 3rd and 5th fret, and like 2nd, 3rd and 5th on the A string. The dots are just the frets that you can play. Now these are the notes in the key. You can just Google E minor if you want to know what the notes are. I've put like the numbers of the frets. I used to write it just on like one side, but then I'd sort of maybe be at the bottom and then always have to look up to the top and be like, oh, which number's that? So it's like, if you just write it on both sides, it's so obvious which fret it is. Now here, like, it's just like the open string notes. So say for example, if I'm in a different key, like the key of D minor, the D minor key has like different notes to this, and in that key you can't play a B note. Now all this is symbolizing is that yes, you can play all your open strings in this key, and it's in key with, like, you'll find all the notes that in standard tuning are in this key. But say in like D minor, for example, there's no B note, so the B, you just cross it out with an X just to show that you can't play like an open B note in that key. But that doesn't matter, I'm just kind of teaching you all about this. So yeah, you can play all the open strings. You can play like the 1st fret on the B string, like 3rd, 5th, all this, right? So yeah, you get that. Now that, right, we'll kind of come back to that. So how it kind of works is, for the first thing, To put it simply, I said that you can play like all the open strings in this key. Now, the high E, B and G note, again, to put it simply, it works really well with the key, and it's like I'd say the first out of 3 things to do with how you use this method to write the professional classical guitar material that I'm showing you how to write. So here's like the first bit. So it's like, okay, so you got these strings. Like, so right now I'm playing in E minor. I know this is E minor, right? Now, this fretboard thing, all these dots, what you want to do is pick any dot or dots, and you just combine it with those notes. So on, say, the D string, I can play the 2nd fret, like, so that'll be on that fretboard. So you just combine it, like, so like for example, like I can like play that fretted note but with the high E, so at the same time, and just do like a pattern or something. And then like you just move up to like the next note or something. But my point is, any note on here can be combined with these higher ones. So like you can, on these like 3 lower strings, any of the dots you can use you can write sections of ideas with just that. But you might be thinking, okay, I might be able to write 3 things like that and it'll always just sound like this. So like the first thing I said was like I said there was like 3 things that make this method work. You got like you got like these things, like these strings, and then so then the second thing is you combine it with and like the dots on the page. Then the third thing is to change it up, and then the final, so like this is the final thing that solidifies the whole method, is you combine like these bass dots with like higher dots. So like I did in the intro, like this whole thing is just combining like the dots on the A string with the dots on the high E. That whole passage that I shown in the intro, and again it's then got, okay, so it's like now the high E's taken up with these dotted, like the dots on your fretboard, but you still got these open G and B still, and you're still playing the high E as well, but you've just changed it to like a fretted note, and that's where like the sort of like magic happens. So that's just like the bass ones with the higher strings. And then you can start putting in like some of the dots on the high ones, so on the higher like strings, like these ones. that's just how it works. And then once you kind of get like, so that's the thing, like my first ideas, like the first song I ever wrote, like it was just 4 sections using this technique just placed after each other. So the first section was like, that was like section 1. I didn't play the whole thing, but that's kind of it condensed. And then I went into like this. So like that first one I showed you, it's like, okay, we're going to use like the dotted notes on the bass notes with just like the open strings. And then I start playing it with like a summit on the high E. As you can see, I've now like fretted the high E, and we're doing stuff on the like dotted notes on the high E now. And then like I was saying, like, okay, then the next part was like, so that's again just dotted notes on the bass strings playing like these ones open. And then the next thing was that thing I showed you in the intro. So again, it's just combining like, I mean, I said there was 4 things, but the other thing was just like harmonics, using the notes that you can play in the key. So just dotted notes across like all the strings, kind of. You know, 12th and 7th frets on all the strings, really. And then a bit of 5th frets. Like if you look at the chart, hold on. I find that just sounds really nice to go into after the harmonics. Obviously that's why I wrote it. So yeah, it's like you can see like with the harmonics thing that I did, it was like, okay, there was like 12 frets, 7th fret and 5th frets. Like, so yeah, 12 frets, you can play all of those. 7th frets, you can play all of those. 5th frets, you can play all of those. So yeah, you can see how it works. But yeah, like once you get like, yeah, I was saying like how like my first piece, again, it was just like these like simple things. But then once I wrote 2 pieces with stuff like that, it then, well, I might as well then kind of go into the second piece. Like the second piece then got a bit more kind of technical. It was like, okay, we've got a few of these dotted bass notes, combining it with the higher ones. And then I throw in like some notes on like the high E. So again, I managed to squeeze out some more ideas for the second song, and then the third song ended up like the intro, like the main riff, like is this. So so like I can see that it's just these strings with like these like dotted notes from the fretboard on like the bass strings, and then to sort of change it up, aside from just on the bass notes, you also then play like, you change the notes on, like, say the high E. I do that mostly because I find, because what you're doing is just playing like sort of like a bass with a melody on top. So it's sort of like I usually just use like the high E for like the melody. So that's how you do it, guys. It's just like these strings. Combine with these, and then you can like combine it with stuff on like the high E, like melody on that. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to like see any tab for like anything that I've played, just give me a timestamp and I can link you to the tab to any of my songs so you can learn that. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Yeah, take care, God bless, good luck.